High school social studies teacher Sherry Whipple doesn't use textbooks every day in her class, but she and other teachers say they take the state standards and any changes very seriously.
Teachers are very passionate about what is going into the textbooks because this is personal. This is someone telling us what we have to teach.
At the center of the debate, the State Board of Education, which will vote on social studies standards later this month. The debate in this room affects not just history, it's also about money. Texas is one of the largest textbook markets in the country, and publishers are inclined to tailor their products to fit state standards and then offer those products to other states.
We are a very large market.
Dr. James Crott of Texas A&M helped advise this year's board on social studies changes. He says that while national standards and digital content could eventually erode the state's influence, it's here to stay for now. Why? Texas is a state adoption market, which means publishers need only market their books one time to the state board.
In a lot of other states, they have to market district by district, or in some cases even school by school.
Across the state, the debate over what's in those textbooks is spreading like wildfire. Liberals say conservatives are trying to rewrite history from an ideological point of view. And conservatives say liberals need to recognize the influence of faith in conservative movements in American history.
I don't want a conservative stamp on it, but I think we've become a very secular liberal society.
Gail Lowe heads up the powerful State Board of Education. She's also chief editor for her family's conservative newspaper in small-town Lampasas. And Lowe understands the power of words.
When we speak glowingly of progressive movements and liberal initiatives that have guided our country for maybe the last 40 or 50 years, there ought to also be recognition of a conservative resurgence back in the 80s.
Lowe and the majority conservative bloc on the board have proposed a series of changes that would most definitely counter liberal influences.
I want students to understand the very basic foundational principles that have made America great.
Among the proposed changes, studying the conservative resurgence of the 80s and 90s, examining Christian history makers from Thomas Aquinas and John Calvin to Phyllis Schlafly and the moral majority, discussion of the political motto "In God We Trust," dropping a study of the Crusades and adding a study of the Reformation and its political and religious impact. Some Democrats on the board have sought to downplay the disagreements.
I believe the conflict is a good thing because it gives us a process by which we can hash things out.
Allen would like to see more minorities profiled in the textbooks, but he also fears that the conservatives' long list of names will take its toll on teachers who want to develop concepts and critical thinking skills.
If you can imagine 129 names in a course, and the course is 186 days long, how well could you actually teach the students?
But Allen and those like him may find their views in the minority when the board votes May 21st. Chairman Lowe describes her focus as bringing balance to the curriculum and says that's what her constituents want.
They're very concerned about the secularism and the liberal bent that's in certainly university textbooks and is making its way into the public school classrooms.
Crott believes both sides will end up reaching some mainstream conclusions.
Texas is not going off into some land of wild conservatism or wild liberalism.
As a former teacher, he relishes in the debate, which on its own serves as a modern-day civics lesson.
I really think this debate is healthy. It's drawing more attention to the content of social studies, and anytime we can cause the general public and parents to be interested in the content that their children are learning, so much the better.
Reporting in Austin, Heather Sells, CBN News.